Hey guys, it's Jen from iCreateCrafts. In today's video, I will be showing you step by step how to create these cute Christmas plates using Armour Etch to etch into your plate rather than using vinyl that could peel off. These are safe to eat on and they can go right into your dishwasher. These are so cute and so easy to create, so let's get started. Christmas is very dear and near to my heart. Not only is it Jesus' birthday, but I get to give homemade gifts, and I absolutely love doing that. So to make this dollar store cookie platter, you need to start in Design Space and create a SVG or buy an SVG and kind of start that way. So sorry about my cat in the background. So I bought these off of Design Space. I absolutely love Design Space. I just bought this one right here. I will show you really quick. It was $2. I mean, you can't go wrong with $2. It was originally $4. They marked it down to $2. So go and grab yours while they're still available. Sorry about my cat in the background. So again, I am always honest with you guys. I have an affiliate through Design Bundles, so if you use my link that I will leave below, I get a little tiny kickback of each one that you guys purchase, and that will go towards my YouTube channel and help me continue to make these videos. Talking about that, if you guys like this video or any of my other videos, please leave me a thumbs up and a comment. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. So this is where I got this one. I love it. So starting from there, I added that into, I downloaded it onto my computer and then I uploaded it into Design Space. And that's what I did with these other ones as well. So to get started with this, you need to start with a circle. And I'll tell you why in a second. So I'm going to click on Shape. I'm going to click on Circle. I'm going to pull it over here, and I'm going to make this circle a 6x6. So I'm going to go up to the unlock box up here, and I'm going to change it the width and the height to 6x6. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this one right here. I'm going to move him over here. Don't worry, he's still there. It's not missing. You're going to right click, and you're going to do send to back, and then that's just going to bring it up here. I don't know how this happens sometimes. It's almost the right size. So instead of me doing this, file is 6x6, it wouldn't fit around my circle here. And the reason for my circle is that's the size of my plate. So not only is it visual that you can see it, you can also estimate the size of your file that you want. So I'm actually going to unlock it here and kind of just work with it that way. And I want it in the center, and I want it enough on each side that it's going to fit. But I want it to be nice and directly in the middle. So I like how it looks. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select both the circle and the file here, and I'm going to go to a line up here, and I'm going to go to center, and that's just going to kind of show me how it looks right now. And I think maybe if I can stretch it and make it a little bit longer, I'm trying to get as much as I can out of the plate before making it look too distorted. So I love how this looks already. So I did not change the circle, it's still 6x6. So I'm gonna leave that the way it is, but I'm actually gonna take the circle and I'm gonna do the same exact thing with the next one. So this one is already sent to the front. So again, I'm not going to unlock it. I'm just going to use the little arrows here and make it a little bit smaller to see what it looks like if we can fit it in here. And I am going to unlock it now, and I'm going to make it just a little bit longer. I like to take up as much room as I can on the plate. So I love how that looks too. And I don't have to center it. I just centered it before to see what it would look like. I'm actually going to shrink it just a little bit more so that the other star is on it far enough. So I love how it looks. So again, this one is finished, and you don't have to change the color on any of these because when you do this and you're using the etching cream, it doesn't matter what vinyl you're using for it or what color it is, because you will not see it. Again, I'm sorry about my cat in the background. He is a real pain. So I'm just doing the second to last one here. I'm just shrinking it up a little bit to fit the size of my plate in the background. Again, I love how this one looks. I'm going to move that one out of the way and then just take the last one. I'm just doing several of them just to get it over with while I'm cutting them out. And wow, I actually like the size of that one. So I'm actually going to leave this the way it is. And one thing you want to look at is weeding stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to weed out this little tiny piece here. So I'm actually going to try to get rid of that. So I'm going to get rid of the circle. We don't need the circle anymore. And I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to go to ungroup up here, and hopefully I can just get rid of, there we can, okay, get rid of this guy. Maybe I can bring my own in, but just looking at it, it's going to be so difficult to weed that from the size that it is. So I'm actually going to get rid of it, and I'm going to get rid of this one. And unfortunately, I'm going to get rid of that one too. So it's not too bad the way it is right now. I think I'm actually going to leave it the way it is, but because I ungrouped it, I'm actually going to select the whole thing, and I'm going to go down here and push weld. And the reason I did weld is because this little piece here, if you didn't do that and you just push attach, you're going to see this little cut line here. So when I welded it, it welded everything together. So I'm going to leave that one. I like how it is. You know, now that I'm looking at it, guys, did he always miss his antlers? That's kind of weird, right? I don't know why there would be one with and one without now that I'm kind of looking at it. So I guess I'm going to try pushing the back button a couple times because I did weld this one already. Yeah, he still doesn't have... That's really weird, guys. I did not notice that before. So I'm going to just push the back button a few times. It does have it. What did I do, guys? I have no idea what I did to... I was like, where are his antlers? Anyways, alright guys, I'm back to normal. So I'm going to select this whole thing, and I'm going to push weld. Why? It went away. So it wasn't me, guys. I'm not going crazy. So it went away again. So I'm going to push the back button a couple times. I don't know why it's going away. So I'm going to just select this guy. I'm going to push attach, and then we'll see if that helps. So again... This is very strange, guys. I don't know. So I have it all selected. I'm going to push weld one more time and see if his antlers go... Am I the only one seeing this, guys? What in the world is going on? Alright, I promise. Last time I pushed the back button to get those antlers back. And he moved down now. I did not even touch that one. Oh, guys, this is... My computer's playing a joke on me, I think. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So let's just fix this guy. So, well, here he's back again. So I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to tell you what. So I'm going to actually just attach or weld this part together because, like I said, if I just attach it, you'll see that little cut line there. So now let's push weld and hopefully it doesn't go away. All right, so it didn't go away. So the last thing I'm going to do is select it all. And now I'm going to push attach because I want it to cut out all as one piece. Guys, stick with me. I'm okay. I don't know what the heck happened to that. So I want to do the same thing on this one. Hopefully nothing will get taken away from here as well. Because it is attached here like this, I don't want this little piece cut out. I'm going to push weld and hope that nothing goes away. So that one worked just fine. So this one, luckily it doesn't have any little spots in it here, so I don't have to worry about trying to weed that out. So again, I'm just have it selected. I'm going to go to weld. And nothing went away. Guys, I swear. Alright, so last one. Again, I'm just like to weld it, so I'm going to weld it together so it all cuts out as one piece. And I love the sizes of them. They're all the same color. They're all black. Like I said, you don't need to change the color of it anyhow because you're not going to be using the vinyl. You're just using it as a stencil. So I'm going to go ahead and go to make it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a larger mat. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So I'm going to move these away just for a minute. I like to have a little bit of space in between when I put my vinyl onto anything. So when I'm using etching cream, I don't want to just have it up in the corner here. And then I have to be very careful of this little part here and all the sides here. So I just take a little bit of extra so that I can cut it out and I can put it directly onto whatever I'm using it for. And unfortunately, I don't think this has enough. So I'm actually just going to move it. I'll do it straight down so I get enough on each one. But I'm just doing this so I get enough room in between each spot that I can cut it out and have enough space on each one to cut out. So maybe this one. I'm just going to find some pieces laying around maybe, or... Sorry, no, that's my dog. Or I'm just going to leave it as it is and cut these out and then cut this guy out on the side just because I don't... Well, maybe it would be... I want enough room that I can get around the whole thing. So those look good to me. So the last part to do is mirror your image. You want to mirror them because they are going on the back of the the plate. So when you mirror it, if you don't mirror it, you don't want it to be backwards when you're looking at it. So I love how everything is now. I'm going to click the continue button. So once this pops up, these are my base materials. These ones I chose myself. I went into the browse all material and I put a little star by the ones that I use the most. If you're subscribers of mine, you know that I most likely do not buy Cricut stuff or Cricut materials. So I just buy whatever's on sale. So I just use the stencil vinyl one right here. I don't use a lot of Cricut brand or name brand ones. I just buy whatever's on sale. So it's just telling me I'm picking the stencil vinyl here. I'm using the default pressure. I have my fine point blade in already, and then the next thing I'm going to do is just put my vinyl onto a 12 by 24 mat. Alright guys, a couple of quick tips for you before we get started. I wanted to show you this light up that I have here. It's going to get kind of bright. So I love this. It has little buttons on the side. You can make it brighter and darker if you want. But it's a total weeding game changer. I swear, it's so much easier to weed out your small tiny pieces than trying to just find it on your own, especially when you do black like I did. So I'm going to turn that off. And then I also bought this. I'm not sure what it's called, but it holds all of your little tiny pieces that you're weeding out, and it sticks on your table really well. Last thing I have is these weeders. Again, I don't like to buy a lot of name brands or Cricut brands for that matter, so hopefully this shows up. They are just like the Cricut. They're nice and sharp, and I bought them. I think there was like 6 of them, and it came out to like $3 for all of them. And they're different sizes. They're different kind of tips here. This one's kind of bent over to the side. This one's like a straight point here. But they work so well. So if you're looking for something cheap, I would suggest looking at Harbor Freight. Like I said, I think there were 6 of them for like $3 or something. And then if they get dull or they break for whatever reason, you can just throw it out and you won't feel bad because it's very cheap. So just a couple of tips. So I'm going to start out with, let's see if we can find this one. So this one it's backwards for me, but it's the Christmas calories don't count. So instead of weeding it regularly and pulling off, I'm going to be reverse weeding it, which means I'm going to take off just the letters and whatever else is on here. I'm going to leave all the background vinyl on it. So I'm just going to turn on my weeder or my light, take one of my weeding tools, and just start pulling up the words. Okay, so here is for the second part. These are the things you're going to need. Your plate, and make sure it's clean with dust and finger marks and everything. And there was tags on here that I took off. It took me a little while to scrub them off. If you have Goopy Gone, that would work so much better. And then I'm going to have some alcohol here just to clean the back side to get rid of all the finger marks and everything. Obviously, you're going to need some Armour Etch. I love this stuff. I use it all the time. This bottle lasts forever. You're going to need some foam brushes, a plate or something to put your Armour Etch on, a pair of scissors to cut out your transfer tape, and then obviously your little decals. So here they are. They are backwards because they were mirrored. So here's this one, Merry Christmas one, another Merry Christmas one, and then the Christmas calories don't count. So we're going to try doing those on here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually clean the bottom of your plate. Like I said, you want it to be nice and clean with no finger marks or anything on it. So I already washed this with soap and water, but I'm just going to go the next step and take the cleaner and clean the bottom of it one more time. And then let that sit for a minute and let it dry. And then I'm going to cut out some transfer tape for the next part. And everything that I have here, except for the Armour Etch and the vinyl, I bought from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut off a big slice of this, and I love this stuff. I normally use the really good transfer tape, but you know, lately with just the stuff that I don't really need it to stick too well for, I use this stuff. So I'm just going to line it up really quick and kind of eyeball it to see how big I need it. And then just take your transfer tape, peel it back, and put it onto your stencil, but make sure that you put it on nice and tight so you don't have any bubbles or anything beneath it. One other thing I forgot was your scraper. So again, I love the scraper with the little thing on the bottom of it because I'm not going to tear into any of this or my transfer tape. So I'm just going to push on it really well to get all those little pieces on here. And I would say take the time to do this and make sure that every little piece gets on here. So then I like to flip it upside down and work backwards You want to make sure you get everything here. And I work backwards because then I can see if anything is coming up while I'm pulling. But if you do a really good job scraping it, it shouldn't come up. So here now you can see that it's forward. Christmas calories don't count. So again, you want to work with it backwards. I let this one dry, so this one's all clean already for me. And now it's just the fun part of trying to find the center of it. So I'm just going to lightly put it on here, kind of guesstimating where it's going to go. And then you can flip it over and kind of look that way and see. So I don't put it on here very tightly. Wish there was an easier way to do this. Maybe I'll put it down here. Yeah. And then kind of go this way and see where the center is. And what I always say, guys, is it's handmade. It's never going to be perfect. So just do your best getting it in the center, which this looks pretty good the way it is. So I'm just going to flip it over again and then just take my scraper. And this part you want to make sure you scrape really well because you want your vinyl to stick. And if there's any bubbles here like there just was, you can just scrape those out. It doesn't matter too much on the sides here. It just matters on the middle that you don't have any bubbles or anything sticking out here, because wherever your reverse is, I guess, wherever it's clear is where your Armour Etch is going to go. So you want to make sure that you get your stencil on really well before you pull it up. And this is also why I said it's important to make an extra around the edges rather than cutting it really tiny, is so that you have a little bit of room to work with the Armour Etch, so you don't have to worry about pulling it up or putting it on the plate where it's not supposed to go. So then I'm just going to take it and pull my transfer tape back slowly. It's sticking on really well. I'm just using Oracal 651. It is a permanent one, but I think it sticks better when you're doing something like this. So I'm going to save this for my next couple of ones that I have. I'm just going to put it to the side. I like to save things as much as I can. And then I'm just going to take my scraper one more time and just lightly go over this. You can go over it with your fingers. You just want to make sure that there's no part sticking up anywhere, or if you're missing a piece, or if there's a bubble, like there's a bubble right here. You don't want that because your Armour Etch will go underneath your vinyl. And then you won't have nice straight edges. But this one looks really, really clean. Again, there's bubbles here, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to be putting it on that side. So once you have it where you want it, you want to make sure that you have it on really well, which I don't see any bubbles or anything on here. So the next part is taking your Armour Etch and then just putting some on a plate or something that you have laying around, and then just putting some on a plate. My bottle's starting to run out. I'm going to get some more. But you won't waste this. When I'm done with this, and it's done with the 15-20 minutes, however long you leave it on, I think it's recommended for 5 minutes, but I do 15 to 20 minutes. I always put it right back in the bottle after I'm done. I just wipe it off of here and put it back in the bottle, so I don't waste anything. So that's what I'm just going to do here, is just take my foam brush. And it's recommended also to wear gloves, but I'm not wearing any right now because I've done this quite a few times, and I'm not touching it with my bare hands. And as you can see, I'm really thickly, is that a word, guys? Thickly? I'm really piling this on thick. I'm making sure I'm not missing any spots. You don't want to see any of that glass behind it. So I'm putting it on really, really thick. And again, if you don't want to waste this, you just take it up after your 15 or 20 minutes is up, and you put it right back in your bottle. So I'm just taking some of it and spreading it. But you want to make sure that you get everywhere on here. And also you want to work on a flat surface, because if you're doing like a cup or something and you have it up straight, unfortunately it's going to just leak through and leak down because of gravity. So you have to make sure you work on a hard surface. I'm just picking it up so I can kind of tell if I'm missing any spots. And you want to have it as thick everywhere as you have it in one spot, because you don't want one spot to be lighter than other spots. So this looks really good to me. I can't see any spots where I'm missing. I'll show you the other side really quick. So it still looks like this. So it's going to turn out just like this, but it's going to be opposite. So you can put your cookies or your food or whatever you want on here and it's not going to hurt you. And you can throw it in the dishwasher too, which I really love. So this is going to be a great present. I'm also going to try to sell some of these at the local store. I'll let you know how that goes, but I'm just going to finish the rest of them up. It's just the same process of what I said. So I'm just going to take another plate, rinse the back really well with some alcohol, and then take my transfer tape that I just used and put that on. You want to make sure you clean this really well. You don't want any marks or anything behind it. And then you want to make sure it dries really well too. So while that's sitting there, I'm just going to work with my next one and put my transfer tape back on this one. I'm just using the same piece that I was using before. Nothing was wrong with this one, so I might as well reuse it, right? So just the same, whoops. Hang on guys, I see I missed someone somewhere here when I was weeding. See if I can pull it up. There. I missed that. Luckily I caught it. So anyways, my guys have their little antlers on them. I don't know what happened with that, but anyways, so I have this one. I'm just going to take the transfer tape and lightly go over it. Just make sure you hold down your vinyl because you do not want any bubbles in here. So it's kind of however you can get it on without getting any bubbles. But I'm just going to finish this up. I'll finish the rest of these up and I will show you the next part of taking it off. But make sure you wear gloves for this. You can wear eye protection if you want. But the next step I'm going to set up by my sink. And then actually the next step I'm going to do is take off the rest of the Armour Etch, put it back in my bottle. And then I'll set up by the sink and show you the next part after that. Okay, so it has been sitting for about 15-20 minutes. I gave it a little bit of extra time. I think it says 5 minutes on the bottle, but the next thing I like to do is take this back off and put it into the bottle again. And I'm just doing it very carefully that I don't peel up any of the vinyl underneath. This is optional. You're going to be washing it off anyway, so I figured why not it. So I'm just carefully just peeling it off of, not peeling it, I guess, just pulling it off of the plate, just very carefully. Like I said, so you don't pull up the vinyl. You don't want to make any mistakes now that you came this far. So again, it's optional if you want to do this, but I'm just going to finish this up with all my other ones, and then I'll set up my camera by the sink because the next step is just washing this off. And for that part, I would really highly recommend putting on some gloves if you have some. You don't want to burn your hands with this. So I'm going to find some gloves for that part. And then set everything up. But again, this is optional if you want to do this. This is just what I do. I just take off most of it, whatever I can get off, and make sure that you don't get it on your plate now. But I'll show you, this is what it looks like on the other side. So it's going to look just like that once you pull off your vinyl. So I'm going to finish up these really quick, and then I will show you the next step of washing it off, and then you'll see what it looks like. I'm really excited to see how these turn out. So now I'm set up at my sink. I'm just going to turn my water on warm. And I have my gloves on so I can touch this now. So when you wash this, you want to be careful that you don't get any of the Armour Etch on the plate. So what I do is just really quickly rinse it off in the middle. And then after I get it off in the middle, I just take the vinyl off. So you want to work kind of quickly that you don't get any of the Armour Etch on the glass anywhere else. So just like that. So then I like to use warm water because it seems to peel up the vinyl a little better. I'm just going to peel up the vinyl. I'll tell you what, I'm having problems with my gloves. I washed all of it off, so I'm just going to continue to wash the rest of it off, and then I'm going to take my gloves off to get the rest of the vinyl off because it's kind of difficult. It sticks to your gloves. So I'm just going to rinse the rest of this vinyl, or the Armour Etch off, and then I'll go back in and take the vinyl off. There, so now that I got it all off, now it's going to be easier to take the vinyl off that I don't have my gloves on because it was definitely sticking to my gloves. Okay, so this one is finished. Like I said, it might be a little difficult to see that in the background, but once it's dry, it'll be so much darker. But oh my gosh, guys, I love how this turned out. I cannot wait to give it as a gift. I would love to receive this as a gift. And again, you can eat off of it because it's on the back. You can put it in the dishwasher because it's etched in there and it's not going to come off like vinyl would. So I'm going to finish up the rest of these ones, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're all done and dry. I hope you enjoyed this how-to tutorial on how to create your own etched Christmas plates. The possibilities are endless on what you can create etching into glass. I had a lot of fun creating these, and I cannot wait to give them away as gifts and also sell them at our local craft store here in my town. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, as I will be creating more Christmas crafts and gifts. And if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and share this video, as it really helps out my channel. Happy crafting, everyone!